Hey, good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to another edition of Lincoln Logs TV. We're back on our kitchen project in Broad Ripple. Today is actually an easy day for me. I just have to kind of stand around and make sure nobody's doing anything crazy and holding the camera, I guess, a little bit today. But today we install our countertops. I have a great contractor. These guys name their company Santorini Stone. They're on the south side of Indianapolis in Beech Grove. These guys have been doing work for me for maybe 8 or 10 years. They are by far my best subcontractor. Those guys, and I have a great roofing and siding subcontractor. These guys do awesome work. Like, there's not many subcontractors that I say their work looks like art when they're done. That's how good these guys are. They have done dozens and dozens of projects for me over the years. No callbacks, no complaints, outstanding work, answers the phone when I call, always pushing stuff out, usually gets me done within 2 weeks, which is really reasonable when you consider some of this stone has to come from out of the country. Really a really great group of guys, funny and nice to work with, and they're actually working through the pandemic stuff, so they're helping us out with helping to keep us up on schedule. So let's get inside and see how these guys do their thing. And if you like what you see, as always, please hit the subscription button, give me a comment, or hit the like button if you like what you see. So the first step is to remove the slabs from the truck and get them into the house. This is a pretty significant feat considering each one weighs at least 200 pounds. The larger one weighed about 300 pounds. So these guys are working hard to get those things in there safely. A lot of work and a lot of effort goes into this particular process. It lines up perfectly, just like we wanted it to. Dead center of that window. We planned that weeks ago, right? All right, so they got the first big piece set here. And now they're putting in the little corner piece here in the back behind the stove, next to the stove. Tight fit in there, but it's supposed to be. All right, so you can see there's actually a joint here. This is one piece here, and there's a joint right here, and there's a piece here and piece here. This is just too big of a piece to get in at one time. So they put two pieces in, and they'll field dress this. So they'll epoxy it, and they'll field dress it. Hell, it's hard to see now, but they'll make it so you can't even see it and get it all grinded down, look nice and smooth. So they're about to bring in the final piece. This piece was a little bit tricky because of our little angle cabinet. This is not what you call a normal, typical squared in cabinet, but it looks really sharp. They're gonna have this, bring this thing in the back door and set it in place for us, but should be a pretty easy piece once they get it in place. It's just a matter of making sure those cuts are correct and make sure his layout is correct when he does the measurements. In this clip, the guys are using a large wheeled cart. We call it a stone cart, and it's really just made to roll along the ground. They use this to help their backs. This is the heavier piece. This weighed about probably 275 to 300 pounds, and it took everything they had to get in there, but that cart really helps them out and helps them move that thing into the house pretty cleanly and safely. As you can see in this segment, Jose's guys had to cut out some drywall. That larger slab didn't fit flush against the wall due to a large bow, so we had them cut that out. Just kind of a little trick we do when we need to get stuff to fit airtight. Now you can see he's mixing up his epoxy, and he's mixing in some color with it to try to get a match to our surfaces. He will install this, apply it to that crack and let it dry, and then buff it out with some high grit sandpaper and a grinder. All right, so he's applying this into the crack there, into the seam. So he wants to fill it up. Not only is it an appearance thing, it's also an adhesive that locks the two slabs together so it can't move. You see how he's jamming it down in there so we get really good adhesion on both surfaces. All right, he's got a clamp on there now, a double suction clamp. It's got two big suction cups on it. He pumps it and it pulls the two slabs together for us. It pushes all the glue out of there and then makes sure everything stays in place so it can set up. Shouldn't take too long to dry. So Jose's guys just walked out the door. Looking really good with this, real happy with this stone setup they did for us. Big section there, small section here next to the range. Then we've got another big section here. Not a really complicated job for these guys. It took them about 2.5 hours to get everything set up. These guys always include sink installation, so they'll take it and glue it and fasten it to the underside and make sure everything is sealed up on the edges. But we have to hook up the plumbing. It's important to remember that when you hire somebody to do all your stone work, they'll cut out the holes for you and they'll set the sink, but they will not hook your plumbing up. So you need to account for that into your cost of your project. But yeah, really, everything coming together really nice. Great color with this floor. We'll have a backsplash going up next week all along there. So it's gonna look really sharp. So we're gonna be wrapping this project up next week. So yeah, so that's it. That's what our stone countertop process is. Pretty simple, but it looks really good when it's finished. All right, so there you have it. That's our countertop process. Really, like I said before, it's pretty straightforward. This one wasn't too super complicated except for the one angle cut on the butler's pantry dry bar area. So yeah, that's it. Really great stone. This stuff can vary in price from a couple $1,000s to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what the homeowner likes, what kind of stone. If you pick granite group 1, it's gonna be cheaper. If you pick marble group 3 or quartz group 6 or group 1000, whatever it goes up to, it's going to be significantly more expensive. This one was really reasonable. The homeowner picked out a great stone, was right on budget or under budget a little bit, and the product just turned out looking great. So I appreciate you guys logging on and watching this edition of Lincoln Logs TV. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas, anything like that, leave a comment. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like. Next video, next one up, we're gonna have the backsplash. We're gonna do a time lapse on the backsplash. It'll be our first foray into time lapse photography, videography, which I haven't done before, but this sucker's supposed to be real good with it. So tune in again. Appreciate you guys logging on. Have a great weekend.